Oh, hello, I'm Front Row Phyllis, and I'm in a Ford F-150, and I've teamed up with the Big 95 Chicago family and these country music fans to bring you a bird's eye view of behind-the-scenes coverage and backstage interviews at this year's 2018 Windy City Smokeout. This is all thanks to our friends at Ford, America's best-selling brand. What do you guys say? Are you ready for some country music and barbecue?
Yeah!
I think they're ready. Well, let's go now. Hey guys, we are so excited. We are taking you behind the scenes. So when the artists get here, they either come on tour buses, which are behind me, or by plane, or even by vans. And then they have this incredible area back here that has even ping pong. They also have a VIP tent that has air conditioning and great food inside. So you know what? They get to chill out before they perform. So come on with us. Guess what? We are on the tour bus here at the Windy City Smokeout and hanging out. Guess who I found? Drake White. That's right. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I am great. We're so excited to be here and so excited that you're here.
Me too.
Right? So tell us a little bit about, let's talk festival. Festival experience. Are we having a great time?
Always. I mean, Chicago, there's a spirit about this place. Like, there's so much going on in the city. You can feel it. But country music and coming out here to these people for the I've been playing in Chicago for 7 or 8 years, and there's like there's a thing here. There's definitely, you know, they come out here for an experience, and they've been out here with us. They come back and and so I love it. I love the city for multiple reasons, but they love country music and. Music of all kinds, not just country music. But
so if I were to give you a voucher for anything you can eat here at the festival, anything, because we're talking barbecue now, what would be the first thing you would want to eat?
I would dig into some burnt-ends, like some burnt-ends down here. I like pork. I like chicken wings. Like I saw some people smoking some chicken wings out here, and just going through the burnt ends and chicken wings, ribs. I would try some ribs.
Right.
And then late night I would try some of this Chicago pizza and put barbecue on the pizza.
Oh, do they do that?
Do they do it? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. And I'm from Chicago.
You can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
You can get some barbecue from the Jim Bob back here. And put it on the pizza, you know.
That's a great idea. You know what? I think
that's what I'm going to do.
That's it. So you have another talent. You now are a chef.
Yeah, I guess so. I've been cooking for myself for years.
Have you?
No, my wife cooks for me.
She's going to tell on us. You know, I thought about macaroni and cheese, because I love a good macaroni and cheese, with barbecue sauce on top.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is do it.
That's it. Just do it. So let's talk music. Okay, we're done with barbecue. We're going on to music. Let's talk about congratulations on a new album that just came out, a couple months ago?
Yeah, it's an EP. We released 5 songs called, what's it called? Pieces.
It is called Pieces.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we released it. I worked with this guy named Busby, who's did some stuff with Mary Morris and a guy named Keith Urban, and we got out there, and I wanted to kind of bridge the gap between Muscle Shoals, Alabama, the soulfulness of that, and Nashville, and call it soul country. And I think we did a good job. You know, it's cool. I like the songs. There's a grittiness to Grandpa's Farm, and then there's a softness to Happy Place, and then Girl in Pieces is just enduring, and then there's like a Jackson Brown vibe to the Best Is Yet to Come.
Best Is Yet to Come. That's a great one.
Yeah. And my favorite track on there is probably Nothing Good Happens After Midnight.
What I love is the story. We talked a little bit before we got on camera about Girl in Pieces. And tell us a little bit about the story, because I know the story, but they want to know the story as well, because it's about your wife.
Yeah. Well, Alex had a bad relationship before myself, and I'd known her for years in high school, and then I visited my hometown when during Christmas, and when I came in, she had a light, like she was still beautiful and smiling and this, but I could, like there was a kind of a piece of her that was gone, that was like not there, and she had been beat up, you know, and it just kind of let me know that everybody needs somebody to pull them up every now and then. My grandma used to say, you don't see a turtle on a fence post. If you see a turtle on a fence post, you know it didn't get there by itself. And man, she's pulled me up in so many ways. So, but when we first met, it was like me, like, hey, let's go camping. Hey, let's go out here and have a good time. Hey, let's go to the bar. Hey, let's have a drink. Let's go out to eat. Let's do that. And so it's just a song. I write most of my songs, and I love writing. I consider myself a writer really first. But to hear that song, and her eyes are green, and there's a line on there that says, the green in your eyes is all over the floor. I mean, I was like, I got to cut that song.
Oh, yeah. It's so beautiful. And, guys, you really have to listen to the EP because it's phenomenal. Again, it just came out a couple months ago, and you want to definitely download it. And thank you so much, and you're going to have an incredible summer. I know that. So we're going to find you again.
Yep.
Yeah, when you come back to Chicago.
Yep.
Guys, it's a wrap.
Front row, Phyllis. Welcome to the front row.
That's my new song. I love it. Thank you. Hey guys, you know what happens when you get to hang out backstage, back here where the trailers are and the trucks? Well, you happen to walk into hanging with Walker Hayes.
What's
How
up?
are you?
So good, so good. Just glad to be here, and we love coming to this town for the gym, as you and I were talking about.
That's what we were talking about, the gym.
Yeah, we love the gym that we get to work out with every time we do anything associated, with Joe's.
Right.
And obviously the Windy City Smokeout. So yeah, we've had a good morning. Got here early and had a good breakfast, and then hit the gym.
Is there a big difference in Mobile and Nashville, you think?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Mobile is very old money. A big city in Alabama, but still very, very much small town atmosphere. And so, I love it there. But yeah, Chicago also is a town where my music has worked. There's definitely regions and cities, if you will, that have obviously embraced my music for real.
Right.
And then there's some places who are still kind of catching on, but Chicago is one of those places. It was one of the first sellouts on any headline on our first headline tour. So that I love coming here.
Yeah.
There's always
It's
fans.
almost like coming home, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's been interesting to me, again, as somebody who's not very well traveled, to think, hey, I'm going to Chicago.
Right.
And there's friends and people there who know all the words, to my stuff. And so yeah, there's a couple cities like that are near and dear to me, and Chicago really is one of those. I rarely turn down a gig in Chicago.
Coming here.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a difference in festival, or what's that feeling like playing a festival versus a venue like Joe's?
Yeah.
What do you think? Are the crowd like a little bit more rowdy? They're drinking, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think the crowd, typically it's almost like if you took a club crowd and just said they're on vacation for the day, and it just made them that much more relaxed and happy. They are they're definitely into your set. They're there, they show up. They've taken the day off usually, for these festivals and stuff, and they show up, and they show up early to hear new stuff too, and they're bigger, honestly. I mean, especially for me, I can maybe sell out 1,000-2,000 tops. So to play like a Windy City Smokeout or a fair or festival, I'm looking at more people than I'm used to, and that hypes me up.
Oh yeah.
And usually the better shows are these outdoor, massive crowd experience.
And then they know who you are, they know your music, and then they're buying the music.
Right.
Which is the key, right?
Exactly. And they get a best foot forward from me and my band. You know, we feel great. And then also we're treated so great. You know, fairs and festival season is it's awesome for bands and artists.
Isn't it?
We love this.
Yeah.
I mean, these festivals, especially, you know, everybody with Joe's and Ed at Joe's, like they cater to us.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we are very well taken care of.
So speaking of that, can we talk about the new album?
Right.
Boom.
Yeah.
So excited. So tell us that was released in December, right?
Right.
And first off, how did you pick the name?
Oh, it's just you know, we have had such a pleasant ride from here. You know, about 3 years ago, I was working at Costco, and so each week to this day, there's always just been a exciting thing for me and my team to text each other about, like, hey, your song got this many listens or streams or whatever, or hey, you know, your song was on the radio today here and here and here. And so each time one of us would find out those analytics, we would text each other and be like, hey, they played it, boom, or hey, so and so tweeted about it, boom. And so that just became a regular thing for us. We weren't like, hey, immediately let's name the album. That is just, as we discussed and argued about album titles, which usually came from lyrics from the album, nothing excited us, and then we thought, why not just name it Boom? And so that's, you know, I'm glad we did, and it's been fun to market. You know, it's a great word.
Right.
It's easy.
It's easy,
simple.
right?
Yeah.
And it's easy for people to remember.
Right.
Hey guys, I have to tell you, we were wandering backstage. That's right, that's what I do. I wander around, and I happened to run into Riley Green. I'm so excited. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm great. Oh my God, amazing set. Loved it. You killed it out there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to go from playing the smaller stage, which was in the same spot last year, to then playing the main stage this year. It's a really cool festival, and there's a lot of country music fans in Chicago, so it's a great deal.
Right. So do you think there's a difference in country music fans versus any other fans?
Without a doubt. I mean, I've only played country music, so I'm a little biased, but I mean, you know, I toured the Southeast for several years, and, you know, I've got a pretty avid following down there, but to come to Chicago and play and people show up and know my songs is, I mean, I don't know if you get that just anywhere.
Right. Or with any other genre, right? Yeah. I think so too. So what are some of the fun things you like to do here in Chicago?
Well, the problem is, last time I was up here, I came and played, got on the bus, and had to go somewhere else. There's a problem with touring as much as I am, but it's, of course, the pizza. Today, barbecue. Right. I mean, we always go somewhere nice to eat when we come up here, without a doubt.
Right. So if I were to give you a voucher for any barbecue, anything that you could pick here, what would it be? What would be the first thing?
I haven't made my rounds today yet, but I'm a big fan of the sliced beef brisket. I had some last year, and it was unreal. I can't remember where it was from, but I plan on trying a little bit of everything today. So
I think there was a barbecue brisket with macaroni and cheese. That's like serious, right?
Sounds really healthy.
Yeah, really healthy. Well, I'll be going to the club or running around the block or something like that afterwards. So let's talk music. Let's tell everybody what we got going on, what you have.
So I just put a brand new EP out. It's called In a Truck right now. Yeah. And it's 4 songs. It came out last Friday, and it went to #1 on the iTunes chart.
Congratulations!
Thank you. That was pretty cool. And my first single ever going to radio is on that EP. It's called There Was This Girl, song I wrote, and it's going for ads in August, so it'll be on the radio here pretty soon.
That is so great. So when you put the music together, when you started writing, do you remember what was going on in your life that made you write some of those songs?
Definitely. I feel like a lot of the songs that I wrote, especially early on, were about, like, I mean, I was in college, chasing girls, staying out all night, drinking, I mean, that kind of thing. And, you know, it probably hasn't changed too much yet.
Ladies!
But it's pretty neat to write something about something that happened in your life and then somebody find a way to relate to it on their own. That's pretty cool.
So tell everybody what you got going for the summer and the fall.
So I've got a tour, starts in September. It's called Outlaws Like Us Tour. And we're, you know, whereas I was playing mostly in the Southeast, we're all over the place this year. So it's Rather Green Music's my website, and you can find all the tour dates on there. My Instagram's Riley Duckman, Riley Green Music on Twitter. Yeah, I was a little bit of a duck hunter, so you can find me on all the socials, and all of my tour dates are on there too.
It's almost like golf for some people, I think, right?
Well, yeah, except for golf, stressful for me because I'm not any good.
Nobody's good. I just had this conversation just a few minutes ago too, because I'm like, there's nobody good, and if you think you're good, you won't be good at the next game, right?
Yeah. I know people that are good, or that I think are good, but I played golf with Darius Rucker a few weeks ago with some of the guys from my label, and I played decent golf, and it wasn't close. I mean, just a great golfer, yeah.
So you know that means he has too much time on his hands.
That's a good problem to have. I wish I had some of that.
Right? We're going to have to tell Darius, but I think he's going to be a little busy. He's with Lady A on tour, so he's just doing something, right?
I'm sure. Well, Charles Kelly was with us too, so maybe they'll go play golf together.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Hey, guys. We are having the best time, and guess who I am hanging out with? That's right, Ashley McBride. How are you?
I'm good. We just got here. It's nice out.
Right?
I really appreciate the temperature.
Well, I brought it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I made it a little cooler. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's great. It's been hot everywhere we've been. So it's a little muggy out, but I can handle muggy.
So where'd you guys come in from last night?
We were in Princeton, Indiana last night. Memphis the night before, then Indiana, then here tonight.
Right. It's festival season.
It is. It's so much fun.
Right?
Yeah, and it's a different city every night, but the festivals are so cool. They're so well run, most of them.
Right. So when you hear your songs on the radio, what's that feel like?
Sometimes it's weird.
Yeah.
Or we'll be in like a gas station or a truck stop, and I'll go, huh, that's us. And then you kind of want to tell the cashier, you're like, but they're like, that corn dog will be $2.75, and you're like, that's us on the radio. And they're like, okay, you know, but like, no, seriously, it's cool. We're still getting used to it.
You know what's funny is we got a chance to hang out with BB Rexa a couple times, and BB said that it was a couple of years ago that one of her songs, and she said she got into a cab, and the cab guy goes, isn't that you? Isn't that you? And she's like, yeah, it actually is. So let's talk about the album. It is Girl Going Nowhere, right? And that was just released this spring. How's it going?
They bought the snot out of it. So we released it, and it became the highest selling debut record from any artist so far in 2018. So we're happy to have that title right now, and the next person that gets it will be tickled for them too.
Before we were talking about your fans. So your fans are called, just so I know, Tribe. Are they Tribe?
Yeah.
So how did they get that name?
When I first moved to Nashville, I was writing with one of my favorite songwriters. Her name's Lisa Carver. And I was playing all these writers' nights around town, and I was just kind of meeting different groups of friends, different circles of writers. I said, I like everybody I've met. Nothing feels like home yet. And she said, you'll find your tribe, and when you do, you'll know it immediately. So when it became time to name our fans, that's our tribe.
You're having too much fun.
Hey guys, we are hanging out on the tour bus, of course, with Cody Johnson. We're so excited to be with you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm feeling great today after getting my set done.
Yeah, you did amazing.
Thank you very much. It's our first time here, so we
Really?
were kind of a little bit intimidated, a little bit intrigued. I think it went over well. A lot of fans showed up that we didn't expect, so it was really great.
It's always hard the first day, and it's still, it's Friday, and it's Friday afternoon, and you never know what you're going to get, but you guys got a huge turnout.
We did. That was one of the coolest things about being in a new place is seeing people, and it was really, you could see the fire on the guys on stage, and we were sweating our tails off. I've obviously gotten a chance to shower now, but man, is it hot in Chicago. Not like Texas,
Right?
but it's hot.
Right. Exactly. Well, so have you had a chance to do anything fun here in Chicago while you've been?
I don't get a chance to do a lot while I'm in town. I show up, I do my job. Sometimes I get to go see the sights, especially when I've got my wife and my kids with me. We'll go to a zoo or an aquarium or something cool that the kids are, or a cupcake specialty shop.
Love that.
Yeah. I just had a daddy-daughter date in Gigi's in Nashville, and I've never eaten so many cupcakes in my entire life.
So we just talked about this. It was funny because Pinkalicious, the play is coming here, and I'm sure your daughters probably know about it. It's about a little girl that eats all these cupcakes, and we're kind of getting off the subject, but anyway, she ends up with pinkatitis, and her whole body from head to toe is pink. And I didn't even know this kind of thing existed, but I'm sure it does.
It does when you're a daddy of daughters. You've had your fingernails painted. You know every word to like the movie Frozen, every Mickey Mouse episode. So yeah, I can relate. Trust me.
So you're gonna break out in song in the Frozen song, right?
Only in private with my girls, and if they're watching this, they know what I'm talking about.
I'll bet you could rock it pretty good.
Yeah, as long as nobody's watching.
Exactly. So a few minutes ago, off air, we were actually talking about one of your favorite habits, or things that you like to do, and we were talking about, what was it, bull riding, or yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. We're going to get into music in a second, but I got to talk about these incredible these gold, I call them medallions. I mean, they're just like plaques, medallions. They're beautiful. Tell us a little bit about those.
From a very young age, I wanted to rodeo. My ag teacher, Larry Fortenberry, really encouraged me to rodeo, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just know that I've always wanted to be a cowboy, and I wanted to have that heritage and instill that heritage in my legacy. So riding bulls was where I went, and I can cowboy, and I was pretty tough at the sport, but I didn't have a lot of talent. I had more try than talent, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. Music wound up being, obviously, through playing on my tailgates at rodeos, it wound up being the career choice. But at first, I thought that's what I was supposed to do. In my want to still be involved in rodeo, we've had the opportunity to play the gold buckle ceremony at the NFR, the Wrangler NFR in Las Vegas every year for the last 6 years. And I've got some friends of mine that are contractors. Pete Carr gave me a buckle, and I've got a friend of mine, Richie Champion, who's an amazing bareback rider and a good cowboy and a good friend, who gave me some buckles. And I only wear the ones that I've won myself.
Right.
It's kind of a cowboy thing.
But
I'll dang sure put them up here for people to look at.
Yeah, they're very, very cool. So let's skip over and talk about some music. How about that? So, you actually, what was it, a couple of years ago, you released your last album. We're going to talk about some new music in a second, but you released your last album, and what was it, number 2 on the top country albums, and I have to tell you guys, it sold over 24,000 albums in just a week. I think you're up there with Taylor Swift. I'm just saying.
I don't know if we're that far, but I've got my fingers crossed.
Right?
It was definitely a huge pivotal moment in our career. Gotta Be Me, when it came out, was one of the things that kind of changed everything. It changed how many viewers we were getting to, how many consumers we were reaching, and it was a really country album that I felt like it got a lot more success than we expected. So we capitalized on it, and we've been working our tails off ever since.
Exactly. Well, tell us a little bit about what you got coming out this year, right?
Right. So this year, myself and Trent Willman, my buddy and producer, mentor, and good friend, we've been in the studio recording 15 songs that have been dwindled down from about 400. And this time I didn't write every song. Usually I write a lot of material. This time I've only written 2 songs in the album, and I picked the rest of them from respected songwriters that I know in the business, and stuff that got pitched to me that I just took a chance on and listened to. And it's an extremely fun record. It's a next level record for a guy like me. I think the producer side really showed on this, and I got to be more of myself with songs that weren't mine, which was really weird. I didn't think it would happen that way, but we played a lot of the new material tonight. We've been playing it live. It's coming out in October, or Septober. We'll say Septober.
Septober.
That's hashtag Septober. But we've got new music coming, and it's so great because we just signed a partnership with Warner Nashville.
That's huge.
It was really huge,
Yeah,
and not just because we got to sign with that entity, but also because they allowed me to be myself, made me the perfect deal for me to continue to maintain my independence, kind of, and to have some control and just be who I am. And what a wonderful opportunity with a great bunch of folks, and I think they're really going to get behind this record.
Right. I think it's great, guys. Septober. So we got to check it out. We're pretty excited about it.
I be sitting in the same old bar, breaking on a broken bar stool. Wishing she'd come running back, running from the past, running up the tab, drinking for two. That night my boy showed up, took me out on the town and to pick me up. I never know what I was missing, anything then. 'Cause I never found love, and there ain't no party that I didn't even want to go to.
Hey guys, we are so excited to be back here on day 2, and we are hanging out with Jacob Powell. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. And look, I think the sun's going to come out. What do you think?
I love it. It was hot yesterday.
It was so hot yesterday. Now, have you been to Chicago before, right?
I have. We played at Joe's 5 or 6 times probably.
Okay.
So I love Chicago. One of my favorite cities.
So what's one of the things you love to do?
I love the food. I mean, the food's great. My girlfriend loves the shopping.
Yeah.
So it's just the whole city's fun. The people are great.
Right.
The shows are fun. Every time I've came here, it's been a great show.
So speaking of the shows, do you think there's a difference in audience when you perform at a festival versus inside a venue? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Outdoor versus indoor, to me, are the big differences. But yeah, festivals are awesome. I love festivals.
Yeah.
But I also love clubs and bars like that too, because I like to have a good mix of both.
Right. Well, you get to be up close and personal with them and really see them. Where at a festival, they're drinking, they're having fun, they're loose, right?
Yeah, exactly. So a bar's a little more cramped than a club like that, but it's still a lot of fun. Festivals, I feel like you get to meet a lot of people.
Right.
Because I mean, we still, we walk around after the show and hang out and eat and do all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. We get to meet a lot of cool people, and it's been good. It's been really fun.
So let's talk barbecue. Okay, so is it pulled pork or brisket? What do you think?
It's tough. I got to go with pulled pork, though. I'm just a pulled pork fan, yeah.
I think I would do brisket. So yesterday I was talking about macaroni and cheese with brisket on the side.
Yeah. Well, see, that's different. Right? That's different. That's a whole different thing. Yeah.
That's a good thing. I'll bet you it's here. I bet you we could find it, right?
Absolutely.
So, what I have to say is that I read your story, and I read something about it, and it just made me laugh because I'm a mom, and all I thought about is how I would react. And you know where I'm going on this, and you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but he's going to tell you. So Jacob was originally going to med school, right?
Well, I majored in chemistry. I was in pre-med for 2 years.
Okay.
And I found out pretty quick that wasn't what I wanted to do.
Right.
As soon as I turned 21, I started playing music in bars.
Okay.
And doing that whole thing. But yeah, telling my mom was not easy.
So, do you remember that phone call?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Because I wanted to change schools. I was going to change schools. And she told me, I had some scholarships and stuff, but she was like, as long as you're going to be a doctor, I'll pay for your school. And I was like, heck yeah. She was like, don't worry about it, make good grades. So as soon as I called her, told her I didn't want to do that anymore, she was like, get a job, pay for it. So after that, I got a job and done the whole thing. So it was a big change for sure. But yeah, she didn't like it. She loves it now.
I was just going to say, you know what? Mom, we got to tell Mom because Music Row actually called you one of their most talented new singer-songwriters. So you know what I love is your music I was listening to. And if you guys haven't, you really have to listen to his songs because it's kind of a splash of rock and country with also a little softness when you get into some of your ballads, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Southern rock was a huge influence on me, Greg Allman, Allman Brothers, things like that. I love just the groove of that kind of thing. And, when you marry it with country lyrics and all that stuff, and it's, hopefully people like it. So I'm excited about it. I feel like I'm in a really good spot, songwriting wise, and love the stuff we're doing. So I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
She had a barbed wire tattoo. I couldn't wait to run through. It's easy looking in the rear view. I was going to get cut. It's been a year for a weekend. Still trying to stop the bleeding. This drinking about her leaving.
Hey guys, we have had an incredible time here at the Windy City Smokeout over the past several days. and it has been great joining the Big 95.5 Chicago family and bringing you backstage interviews and behind-the-scenes coverage. This is all thanks to our friends at Ford, America's best-selling brand.